Hey everyone, this is Tom King, co-founder and partner on the Puerto Rico Energy Forum with Sam Tallman, and we're here to bring a holiday message from the Energy Forum to all of you.
So it's the beginning of December, which means last week was Thanksgiving, and the most appropriate place to start is to express our thanks. Thank you to everybody out there who supports the work that the Energy Forum does, the work that Tom and I and Javier and all of our other partners at the Energy Forum does. We're really grateful. This is an important space, and we think we're really glad to have you be a part of it. So first and foremost, thank you. Feliz Dia de Acción de Gracias. This is hurricane season is now officially over, and so we're getting into the next chapter, both of the year as well as in our lives. So, in addition to Happy Thanksgiving, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, season's greetings to everybody out there. Puerto Rico boasts the longest holiday season in the world, and we're in the midst of it. So, very much. Felicidades to everybody out
Yeah,
there. And again, thank
well,
you.
yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, this is an important space, and we think not only are we sort of energy nerds, so to speak, in terms of we enjoy discussing the regular news and bringing some analysis to what's happening on the island's energy sector, but we think it's the most important sector for achieving progress and prosperity for Puerto Rico. And so, if we can add our little grain of salt and our 2 cents to achieving progress in energy and in infrastructure and in the everyday quality of life, we can support the island as it prepares for a new chapter of growth and development. And I think, we have a lot to reflect on in this past year, Tom. Some of our favorite conversations over the last 12 months were really exciting ones. I know that you have a couple in mind.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, looking back, I know sometimes the most recent is what comes immediately to mind. But we did a mid-year policy review with Angel Rivera. Getting into some of the origins, the do's, the don'ts, the didn'ts, the shoulds, the shouldn'ts, and how things are actually meant to work, and bringing that together. It's an IRP year, which year doesn't seem to be, but it's supposed to be every five. So we had a good discussion with Adalia from Italy, and I think I think some of the conversations we were able to have with Luma, I think, were particularly interesting. They've begun to come out of their communications blackout this year, and we were grateful that they came and talked to us, Crystal Allen, on cyber, and we got into some of the development, progress, difficulties within that conversation as well. So those are some of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the mid-year policy review with Angel, and part of that, and same with the conversation with Idalia is, what do we have to look forward to? And I know that oftentimes, at the Energy Forum, but broadly, we're talking about the challenges that energy faces in Puerto Rico, and that's one of the reasons why one of my favorite conversations this past year was with Jesus Cintrón from Genera on the battery energy storage solution project that they're doing with Tesla. It is a rare bright spot and one of the opportunities to be really optimistic about the impact that a single project can have for just regular energy stability and therefore price and therefore the hosting capacity and technical capabilities that the rest of the sector can have. I loved our conversation with Loraima Jaramillo from previously IREC and then EDF, and now with Glen International about the risks of net metering and just sort of the economic and technical considerations that need to be taken into account with regards to high penetration of net metering program participants on the island. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention our conversation with Adiel Morales from 2G. The industrial manufacturing sector on the island just it cannot be overstated how important it is. And that was a conversation that happened 2 days after an island-wide blackout. And so the conversation that we had programmed kind of got shifted into talking about how do his industrial clients recover from an outage like that, and how do they leverage partners like 2G to really make sure that they can weather that storm, no pun intended. I also, you and I were talking about this a moment ago, but we both really loved our conversation with Ramon Luis Nieves and Frances Berrios from the Governor's Energy Transformation Committee. We had the privilege of talking to them twice this year, once in kind of recorded format virtually, and then we had them at our Puerto Rico Clean Energy Week event in September, which is a great way to segue. What a success that event was. The quality of conversation was top notch. I found it insightful, but the way I measure that success is by hearing from people who are much more informed or much more engaged or much more involved in some of the things that we talk about, telling me and giving us the feedback that they learned something. And so that to me is really meaningful. If you missed it, we're going to be publishing
Yeah.
all of the videos, all the panels. We talked about nuclear. We talked about solar panel recycling. We talked about how to finance energy projects. We talked about the innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem. We talked about military microgrids, Luma, Project Ostos, and the Caribbean Transmission Initiative. You name it. I mean, we really covered industrial microgrids. Of course, we covered a very wide array of topics that are affecting
Yeah.
our everyday lives here on the island. Um,
Important stuff that definitely does not make the press, right? So
No, or makes the press in the most superficial way without the analysis that we're trying to bring here at the Energy Forum. I think it's worth noting that we're still working out the kinks, right? So we love what we do at the Energy Forum. We still need some support, and that comes with emails and the newsletters and the articles we write, the website that we're about to do an official launch on, our social media presence. We're still working out all the kinks on these details, but I think what we have a good grasp on is our network of and enthusiastic guests who want to participate and share their insights and perspectives about the energy sector. And so you'll have to forgive video or audio quality sometimes, but what you can always get with the Puerto Rico Energy Forum is a really high quality conversation. Um, and so I think that sort of gets us to what do we have to look forward to in this new year? We're ending one year, we're starting a new one. What do we have to look forward to, Tom?
well, I mean, quite a lot. I think we've got obviously more excellent conversations, with important people on important issues. Again, digging deeper, doing the analysis, having the right conversations. Where necessary, holding people and institutions to account for their performance, when people have done a great job, we've been right out
Celebrate.
there talking about. I mean, you were just talking about Hinata and the BESS project, which is a bright spot, right? The penetration of solar and distributed energy. Frankly, it falls well short of expectations, but on one of those rare areas where Puerto Rico has actually moved faster to put solar and storage across, vast percentages of its territory, of its customers, far faster than any other jurisdiction. So, while it may fall short of everybody's expectations and hopes, it's still really an incredible bright spot. And we like to talk about these things as well.
Yeah.
We're of course going to do another annual event for Clean Energy Week. We have taken the preliminary decision to move it out of September and hurricane season,
Out of the
and
worst week of the year for
and
climatologically.
and yes, exactly right. Yeah, National Clean Energy Week. I'm sure will still support us as a satellite event. It's just going to be 2 months after, give or take, and it should be. We should have fewer worries. Holding on, checking the weather forecast, making sure that we're not going to get a huge storm coming through at the same time. Um, and I think uh, clearly there's a couple things we got started talking about microgrids and panel recycling. we're going to be doing more in those areas, looking to convene additional meetings and trainings and informing folks about what they need to be doing. And by folks, I'm just kind of putting a broad face on frankly everybody in a position to make a decision and help it go forward. Preb, Luma, the government, the czar, people need to be able to understand how their actions or inactions get in the way or can support a more rapid and accelerated deployment of microgrids, for example, in Puerto Rico, another potentially huge bright spot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll say that I think as we reflect back and look forward, the key word is more. We want more partnerships, more articles, more analysis. We want to be able to spread the word, uh, more words more quickly. So much is happening so quickly. We want to make sure that the outlet to get you all the most accurate and in-depth analysis at the right appropriate speed is at your fingertips. We want more success stories. We want to be able to celebrate the stuff that Tom was just talking about even more. So and we'd love more engagement. And so more folks tuning in to our recorded content, more folks tuning in to our live monthly conversations for members of our community, more questions, more incredulity. If we say something, if you think we got it exactly right, we want to hear more about it. If you think we missed something, we want to hear more about that too. So more. You're going to hear more from Tom and myself and Javier and our partners. Um, and certainly more gratitude for everything that our community does to support us. So um, thank you, I guess, is the final word here. Thank you for your support. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Felicidades, and we look forward to talking to you soon.
Yeah, feliz Navidad, próspero año.